What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Red Crimson 101. Listen, I should be feeling sad right now. You guys won't believe what happened to me yesterday. Yesterday was tragic news. Yesterday, I left my Nintendo Switch OLED on the public bus. Yes, you heard right. I left my Nintendo Switch OLED, the brand new model that's hard to find on the Metro bus. I got home. I was like, whoa, where's my Switch? Then I realized I left it on the bus. I take my Switch to work on commutes almost like every day. And I was just so tired yesterday. I was really tired. I was on the bus and I just nodded off. I left it in the case, and the case contained 5 games. That's five $60 games, y'all. So that's $300. Plus the Switch OLED itself costs $350 plus tax. But we're not gonna count the tax right now. And if you do the math, that's $650. Plus I left my Skull & Co. Bluetooth adapter in there as well, which was, I believe, ran me like $35. I can't even remember. So you think about that, that's 65. That's an additional 5, 6, 7, 8, 680, almost $700, pretty much. So, and it had a screen protector on there, the glass screen protector. So, roughly, guys, we're looking at $700 plus worth of stuff lost just like that. Video game collecting is so expensive. I just lost $700 plus worth of stuff. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's been cold since last week. And yesterday, which was Wednesday, we finally had some good weather. It was nice and warm. And we all could appreciate that nice and warm weather, especially coming from, last week being so frigid, so cold. So I got off work, I took my jacket off, stuffed it in my bag, I took my Switch out, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just hold on to it with my dear life. And I did well up until I got on the bus to get home. I started nodding off. And mind you, my jacket is in my book bag, so I don't have enough space to really put my Switch in, so that's why I had it in my hand. And I'm not good at holding stuff in my hand. I have a bad habit of whatever I have holding in my hands, I'll always just leave. But I could have actually squeezed the Switch in my book bag along with my jacket, and that's what I should have done. But for some strange reason, I thought to myself, you know what, it's fine. I got it. I'll remember it. But I was so extremely tired. I was nodding off, fell asleep on the bus. When my stop came up, I tried, I just got up and just left. Stepped off the bus in a hurry with my book bag. Got in the house, realized I didn't have my Switch. It was a blower. So what I tried to do was wait for the bus to make its rounds. So it's supposed to come back around like maybe 25, 35 minutes later. So I went back outside and I was waiting for the bus. The bus came, was another driver. It was a woman. And I said, hey, I left my... Actually, I didn't even tell her I lost my Switch on the bus. I just said, hey, were you the bus that, was going the opposite way 35 minutes ago? And she said, no, I just started. Not realizing my girlfriend told me, you know what? They could have changed shift. And they probably did. So, like an idiot, I didn't tell a bus driver on the second round, say, hey, I left my Nintendo Switch. It's in a black case. Did the last driver see it? Or did he hand it to you? Did he return it in? So, I started calling around. I took it up as a loss. Said, hey, my Switch is gone. I was kind of blown. I took that as a loss. I said, you know what? Let me see if I can call around GameStops and see if they have a Nintendo Switch OLED, which I did make those phone calls, but nobody had it. And we all know the chip shortages and how hot the Switch is. It's hard to get a Nintendo Switch OLED. So I was getting discouraged. I was like, man, you know what? Whatever, man. It's just My loss. I should have been paying attention. Things happen, right? So there's a Target down the street from me, 10 minute drive. Not even that, probably like an 8 minute drive, whatever, depending on traffic. So I was like, you know what? They never have any switches because they're always sold out. But let me just try my hand. So I called Target, guy answered the phone in electronics, and he said, hey, you know what? We actually do have one more switch left. We have a white one. And if you guys watch my other videos and you see the Switch OLED launch pickup as well as the unboxing, I have the white Switch OLED model. So Target so happened to have one Nintendo Switch OLED left, the white one, the same one I picked up at launch. And I said, hey, I talked to the guy, I said, look, I lost my Switch on the bus. Actually, it's stolen. You know, you would do me a solid if you hold a Nintendo Switch OLED for me. I'll come down there right away and pick it up. So called the Uber, went down to Target, picked up the Switch OLED, and you know, that's cool. So I got a brand new one. You know, that was God looking out, because I got lucky, because that thing is hard to get. But yeah, I got lucky on that, and I'm glad I found it. So, you know, my girlfriend was trying to help me and call Metro Lost and Found. I had to call Nintendo and let them know what was going on, and they wiped my credit card information. I guess they must have wiped the whole Switch on their end on the computer. And I also have, you know, backup switches. But you know, once you have the OLED switch, you don't want to go back to the old switches. So I fired up my excuse me guys, I fired up my V2 model, and everything was there. Went into the store. My credit card information is gone, which is good. So whoever has my Switch, you know, they can't use my credit card. And you need a password anyway, but still the number is there, you know, and the rest of all the information. So that was kind of cool how Nintendo did their thing. I was surprised, you know, Nintendo, you know, they're kind of behind, but they was pretty much on point with the whole situation, and they helped me out. They also gave me my serial number for the Switch OLED and said I could report it stolen to the police. So if anybody tried to sell it, you know, it'd be reported as, you know, stolen, and who knows. And I also heard that you can probably call Nintendo and they can track the last IP address. So, you know, that's definitely a big help, but I'm not sure. I've, you know, seen blogs on Google saying that, you know, Nintendo doesn't really do that. They don't do anything, you know. And some are saying, hey, you know, Nintendo can actually track the last IP address that it connected to. But it's worth a shot, and it's better than nothing. I mean, that's $700+ worth of, you know, equipment. So it'll be cool if I can get my Switch back. If not, I'll just have to buy, you know, everything over again. And I had 5 good games in there, but it's no big deal. The best thing actually is that, you know, I was able to purchase a new Switch OLED, but that's an extra $350 plus. I didn't want to spend, you know, with the whole COVID-19 situation, and you know, work is kind of messed up right now, you know, due to the weather and stuff like that. So money is actually pretty tight. So I don't have the luxury right now to be spending money on video games. I spent a lot of money last year Christmas, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. And you know, if you guys had a similar experience of your Switch getting lost or stolen, I mean, let me know. What's the best course of action? Did you get it back? Did you have to end up buying a new one? I mean, you know, but you know, if we're paying attention in the beginning of the video, I did say I was able to purchase another Switch OLED. So in this bad ordeal, there was a bright light at the end of that tunnel, and that bright light is this. A shiny new Nintendo Switch OLED. That's definitely what's up. And the good thing is I have one last screen protector, a glass screen protector, and I'm really bad at putting those on. Like if it comes 3 in a pack, I usually run through 2 of them before I get it right. And my first Switch OLED, I had problems putting on even the last screen protector. And I will not, and I refuse to use this Switch. I lost my train of thought there. Happens often. Guess I'm getting old. But you know, I'll show you guys. I don't know what the hell happened to that case. You know, all the Switches that I have. This is the Switch Lite, Pokemon Edition. Switch Lite, Pokemon Edition though. The I can't say that with diagonal. The most recent Pokemon Switch they came out with. And of course, the infamous V2 model Switch. The red and blue Joy-Cons. Everybody's familiar with this one. So this is my current Switch that I'm using now. I haven't even opened up the OLED that I bought yesterday. And you know what? I've been pretty careful up until this point of, you know, on commutes when I take my Switch, not losing them. But yesterday was very unfortunate. It works like a charm. This is not my primary Switch for right now. I hate that boredom, man. I'm so used to the big OLED screen, but whatever. And the crazy thing is, you know, that Switch OLED had a 1 terabyte memory card in there. Oh, I forgot about that. So really, that memory, a 1 terabyte memory card shoots my total loss pretty much up to close to at least $1,000, really, because you know the memory card itself cost like $200 something, which was $400, I think, like $400 to $500 when they first announced those 1 terabyte micro SD cards. So I forgot to mention that to you guys. I also lost a 1 terabyte SD card in my Switch. So I know I said the price was $700 plus, and that's to account for the Switch OLED itself and the 5 games and my Skull & Co. Bluetooth adapter, which I really love, by the way, and now the memory card. So that's 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's almost $1,000. I forgot how much I paid for that thing, like 200 something. I don't know. I forgot. I got it on sale one time. So instead of 500, I actually paid like, I don't know. I want to say 200 or 150, something like that. I can't even remember. So yeah, that's almost $1,000 loss in one day. You know, some people don't even see $1,000 on their check in 2 weeks. So, but the bright light at the end of that tunnel, I got a new Switch OLED. And not to mention, I have a spare 1 terabyte memory card that's in the V2 model Switch right now. So I guess I have to find a way how to transfer that over to the Switch, the OLED model, which is going to be a pain in the ass, because the first time I don't even know how I did it. It was a smooth transition from my long Switch to my V2 model Switch. But Nintendo came out with so much firmware within that time span which changed a lot of things. Because the last time I tried to actually use the 1 terabyte SD card that's in my V2 model switch on my Switch OLED that I lost, and it kept saying, this memory card is tied to another switch, so I couldn't use it. So that was crazy. But like I said, that bright light at the end of the tunnel. I have a spare 1 terabyte SD card. I got a new Switch OLED, and not to mention, most importantly, guys, and Nintendo was really bad with this in the past. For the Wii, for example, I don't know about the Wii U, but I remember when I had the Wii U, when it came out, I bought a lot of virtual console games, and hard times, I ended up losing my Wii, and I had to get another Wii. And once those games are gone, once the system is gone, the games are gone as well. Because Nintendo wasn't really up to date like Microsoft and Sony, whereas everything is just tied to your account. If you lose your Xbox or PlayStation, you can still download your content by purchasing a new system. Whereas Nintendo, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the past with the Wii didn't do that. I don't know about the Wii U, but I know Nintendo wasn't good for that. You bought digital games on a Nintendo console that were gone. And I think that maybe the 3DS was the same way. I can't remember. I think with the 3DS, everything was tied to your account. You could, if you got a new Switch, if you got a new 3DS, you can still download those games. And I could be wrong. I don't remember, guys, but quote me on that. I mean, were your digital games tied to your account with a 3DS at the time? But I commend Nintendo for stepping it up, because with a Switch, if you lose your Switch, everything is tied to your email account. So if you buy a new Switch, you can just re-download those games. And that's what the Nintendo rep told me, which is a good thing. So now I have my Switch OLED. I can just key in my email and be able to re-download all my games, because I have a lot of games. Somebody told me they had 150 gigs worth of games. I have 1 terabyte. So actually I have more games. That would have been a huge loss. I mean, that would have been it. I would have been discouraged if I wasn't able to, I'd have been discouraged if I wasn't able to re-download my games on the Nintendo Switch. That's thousands of dollars of games, man. That's a lot of games. Over 4 years, going into 5 years now, that'd have been it, man. I think I'd have just gave up. Like, man, you know what? Forget gaming, forget all that. I lost everything. So I commend Nintendo for still tying all your digital content to your email. Now, my V2 model Switch still has my 1 terabyte memory card in there with all my games, all my digital games. So all my digital games are safe. So it wasn't that big of a loss. So if you guys have a similar experience, let me know what's up with that. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch my video and even comment. But you guys had a similar experience with losing your Switch or a stolen Switch, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what's the best course of action. I mean, what did you do? Should I go ahead and report it stolen to the police, get them the serial number? Hopefully they can track it or turn up somewhere. Or should I just don't worry about it? Just, I got a new Switch, don't worry about it, let it go. Should I call my local metro station, lost and found, and give them a detailed description on my Switch OLED, and maybe somebody may have turned it in? Hopefully, whoever found it on the bus, they turned it in. The bus was kind of packed that night, and hopefully somebody was a good Samaritan. They said, hey, Mr. Bus Driver, you know what? This guy, I saw him sitting down. He left something. This is his. Here you go. I mean, I've done a lot of good deeds. You do good deeds throughout life. You get blessings. So hopefully, somebody was a good Samaritan, and I received my blessings back by somebody turning it in. And it's just me simply just notifying the metro station and let them know that I left my Switch on the bus, and do you guys have it? And they said, oh yeah, we got it. Come and get it. Or my blessings may be I was able to find the last Nintendo Switch OLED at Target, which is crazy. And all I gotta do is just, buy a new Bluetooth adapter. I have a spare one, of course, but and just repurchase those 5 games that I lost. 5 games is not really a big deal to replace. I mean, I'd rather replace 5 games over time when I have the time and money versus replacing my whole library. Now, if I lost my whole library, that's a different story. Another thing too, that falls on the digital versus physical too, which I'm not going to get into right now, but that's one of the reasons why a lot of people prefer digital as well. If nobody can't really steal your games, but with physical games, it can be stolen, and you have to buy those games back, just like I gotta do. And usually I go for physical 99% of the time. I have no problems with digital. I still think physical is better, but I usually go for both. If I like the game, I usually get physical and digital. But the games that I lost on the bus, I did not have digitally, so I have no choice but to buy them back. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Thank you for coming along on this ride with me, listening to my testimony. And just let me know what you guys think I should do. If you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Like and subscribe. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. And have a good one. Red Crimson 101 out.